guys, it's Maymay, and look what I have today. These are file folders. Look how beautiful that metallic is. And we're making a file folder, not exactly mini album, we're making a Christmas tag holder file folder. Say that about 15 times fast. So these folders are made by Sheffield Home, and I found them at Tuesday morning for $4.99, and I got 9 in a package. And I've made file folder mini albums before. I haven't ever made one on my channel, surprisingly enough. I've made them in classes with people at church and stuff like that to teach them how to make them. So I thought I'd do one with you guys. They're super simple. You've seen them all over the internet. This is nothing new. But what I love is the gold on this folder. These folders are getting so fancy nowadays. I also think this will be a great way for us to do a Christmas swap together. So stick with me. I'm going to tell you more about that swap. And if you're interested, you're just going to let me know today. Or while you're watching this video, let me know. I'll put the details for it in the description below. Okay, so the first thing you want to do when you pick your folder is decide where you want your tab to be on your book. I want my tab to be at the top, so I picked a folder where the tab is here at the top so I can fold the bottom up to be a pocket. But if it's in the middle, you'll be fine. You just want to be careful not to make sure your tab is not where your pocket's going to be. That'll make sense in just a second. Now, I'm afraid my camera's going to change colors because this is a neon pink almost inside of this folder. It's beautiful, but it's really bright, so it may change from time to time, and I apologize about that, but you can still get the gist of what we're doing. All right, we want to do some scoring. So I'm going to bring in the big scoreboard here. All right, we're going to do some scoring. What I've done is I put the bottom, what will be the bottom of the folder, into the scoreboard, okay, up to the edge, and I'm going to score at 4 inches. This is going to create our pocket at the bottom of the folder album. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to a 4 and score, and I'm only going to be able to score about halfway, and then I'm going to have to turn it and score the other part. So I'm going to be scoring on the front of one side because I'm still going to use this 4 here, but it's not going to matter. We just need to be able to get a good bend, and it won't matter which way it's going. Alright, and once you do it that way, if you want to flip it over and score it back in the other direction, you can line it up on one of those score lines and do that. I'm not stressed about it. It's still going to fold. Okay, so we've got it scored. Now we need to fold this bottom up to make our pocket. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to fold that up, and I want to make sure that this center line and this line match up together. So those have matched up. Now before you go too far on your folder album, if your tags are going to be tall tags, or if whatever you're going to put in your pocket is going to be tall, adjust the height of this pocket. Like you may only need it to be 3.5 inches, or you might only need it to be 2 inches. Adjust this based on what you're going to put in your pockets. Now for this next section, it gets a little more tricky because here's what I want to do. I'm going to fold this back on itself just to get this first fold established. Okay? So I'm going to fold this back on itself, and then I'm going to do a little more scoring to make this very bendy. Now, the reason I'm doing this is I want my book to end at that tab. I'm even probably going to do some trimming right here to make this cleaner and neater. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring the bottom of my book up like so and place it where I want it to land because I want that tab to show. So this is, you could do this with any folder because you're just getting it kind of ready. It doesn't matter the size. You don't have to do any special scoring because we're lining it up based on the tab. So now I can open this guy out and do some cleaner folds because I know where my marks are. Okay, so I'm going to fold this down and I'm going to score it into place. And that metallic paper, when you score it, all those little wrinkles that I had in it all go away. It's so pretty. Alright, and then we know that scored correctly. And now I'm going to turn this one over at that same mark and score it into place. So I'm really just using the folder itself to tell me where to do all the scoring. These folders are super thick. And I have found in the past that this actually works better with thinner folders, but I'm in love with these, so I had to try it. Alright, now notice how this piece is kind of hanging over and it's kind of in the way of my tab. I don't love that, so I want to cut some of that away. And what I'm going to do is just come and cut from the gold line down to the edge of this tab. I'm just going to do it with some scissors. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'm just going to kind of fussy cut it. So I'm going to come to where this tab comes down, make a line there. And then I'm going to cut right on this gold line just so I can see my tab fully. You'll see what I mean. But see, now you can see that tab fully. And it doesn't really bother me. It looks nice and clean. And then when I close the book, I can still see that I've got this little pink tab sticking out here. And I don't love that. So I'm going to cut it away at the same shape as the file folder is above it. When I put together the first one I did with these folders, I just kind of played around. So see, now we have the same shape. And see how clean and neat that looks? Don't be afraid to cut in. I wanted that to be nice and clean. And if I had to do some snipping to make it happen, no problem. So now look here. We have made 4 pockets. Can you see all these pockets? And you don't even have to put any adhesive here because of the way this album is. It will stay together because I'm going to show you how we're going to close it. But you don't have to do anything. Just put your tags in there. All right, so now then what I want to do is I want to work on the front. So I have these pieces that I think are really pretty. This says Joy-Filled Holiday, and it's black and white. I'm going to use that. And I also have this poinsettia with some glitter, and I think that'll be pretty on the front too. So I'm going to cut a piece of the poinsettia to go on the front, but I want to measure how big I want it. So I'm going to take my ruler and measure from edge to edge. Now from this fold to this fold, that's 4 1/4 inches. So I'm going to cut my front panel a little shy. I really want that gold to show. And I also want to see how big this guy is. Oh, that'll be good. Okay, I'm going to cut this poinsettia piece at 3 1/2 by, and we'll bring it down kind of low, by 6. So 3 1/2 by 6 is going to be the poinsettia mat. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and mat this piece on top of it, just like this, like Joy-Filled Holiday. But before I do that, I want to show you how I'm going to do my closure. So I have this khaki gingham ribbon that I just love. And what I'm going to do, leaving it on the spool, I'm going to take a length of it and do a little bit of measuring, like is this enough out here to tie a bow with? I'm going to give myself a little bit extra because I like a roomy spot to tie a bow with. And I want this to land right underneath my file folder tab because that's where I want it to hold my book together. So I want to adhere this down before I put my mats on so it can be sunk inside of there. Does that make sense? It'll sit behind it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use some glue dots just to hold that into place. I'm just going to run them right here. And I'm using a lot because this is going to get handled. You know, I'm going to use this. And so I want to make sure I have plenty. So then I'm just going to take the ribbon and lay it on those glue dots. And I'm only going to adhere it in the front. Okay? I'm only adhering it here. The rest of it is just going to be loose and come around the back and it'll tie on this side right here on the side. Okay, so I'm going to leave that sitting there for now. And now I can put this mat on. And I think I'm going to pop it up on some foam tape. Now with my foam tape, I've left a gap here because that's where I'm going to put over the ribbon, just like that. And I don't want that to have any buckles or be, you know, too thick right there. So just leave yourself a little gap in your foam tape so that you can allow that ribbon to run underneath your mat piece. Alright, so I've got the backer off of the foam tape. And now I'm just going to line this up where it needs to go and stick that into place. Just like that. I'm going to go ahead out here and cut my ribbon. Again, if you're not a person who can tie a bow with a little bit of ribbon, leave yourself some extra and don't worry about it. See how much ribbon I left myself? I know I like to have a lot, and you can just have a nice full bow. So don't stress about that part. Okay, so now it's time for this piece, and I want to pop it up too. I think that'll be really cute on the front of this album to have everything kind of popped up on dimensionals. I use this wide tape that I cut down. If you're wondering, because I didn't show you in the first one, I just kind of got busy doing it. But it's wide 3M tape, and I just like it. It's not as thick as your traditional foam tape. It's a little thinner, so that way if you're putting 2 different things up on foam tape, it won't be too high for you. Now for the most part, because what you'll do here is just tie this. I'll just tie it real quick and show you how this works. You're going to tie this little bow here to hold your album closed. So for the most part, you're done. Now there's another reason I don't want to adhere my ribbon in the back. See how it's still loose and it's back there and it can go where it wants to go? This will get bigger as you stuff it. And I don't want it to be, you know, where it can't expand. So by leaving this ribbon loose on the back side, it can expand, but it's still in there for the book. Does that make sense? Let me hold it like this so it can expand. All right, let me show you what goes inside. So I have put together a whole bunch of tags for the Christmas season. And I know it seems like I'm starting early, but if we want to do a swap, we need to start early so we have plenty of time to get our stuff together. So look at these tags. This one, for example, it says, get your tacky on. And this was made, these three were made using the stamp set Ugly Sweater Weather, which is from my stamp store. That's linked below if you're interested. Look how cute. I think these are really, really cute. This one says, this just got ugly. And this one says joy. Actually, this stamp set is the new Stamp of the Month Club set. This is Define Love, and it says joy. So that one's super cute. So these three will find their home in a pocket, just like so, with the baker's twine sticking out. And that's cute, too, to have the ribbon poking up. Then I made these using that Define Emotion stamp set. And these, they look like bookmarks, too, but they're tags. You can use them for either one. This one says joy. This one says happy. I'm going to stick these into the pocket next to those. Then here's two more just like that. This one says hope and joy. I think these are super cool. Then I can put them, I'll put them in this pocket. Then I just have some little guys that I made just because I thought these were cute. I saw this on Pinterest, and look at that little reindeer face. Isn't he cute? And look, there's another one. Now I did four just like, because I made this one first, and then these, I did assembly line, so there's four of these just alike. And also, if you have the Action stamp set, notice I have to and from on the back. That is stamped with my Action stamp set. And these guys, I'm just going to put into this pocket. Now you'll be able to see why I wanted it to be able to expand. So this is 14 tags because I made an extra one of those guys. So that's what's in there. And now I'll just accordion this up. And because we did not adhere this ribbon in the back, I have room to tie it. I had it caught in there. To tie it no matter how thick what I have inside of it is. Let me tie it real quick. So there we go. We have our tags inside, and we have a nice little thing to keep with our gift wrap so that all season we'll have our tags to put with our gift wrap. Now, I would like to propose that we do a swap of this, exactly this, a mini album made from a file folder that holds 12 holiday tags. They do not have to match. They don't have to be done with my stamp sets. They can be done any way you want to. So if you're interested in that swap, it's the very early stages. I just want to mention it here and see how many of you are interested in being a part of it. Just comment below, or either comment on our Facebook page, because I'm going to do a post there too, and we can talk about it and kind of get the details going. I think it'd be super fun. Like, if I made one, it would go to a person. They'd get my whole kit. They'd get the whole file folder already, you know, created. Basically, they get this in the mail for Christmas. Isn't that cool? So they get all the tags plus the file folder that someone made, and that's how we would swap them. So it's a little different than usual tag swaps. It's not where you're making 12 of the same tag and you're sending them and then they're being divvied up amongst you. This is where you're actually going to make a whole kit of tags in all different ways. I think it's cool. I would certainly want to be a part of it. So let me know if you are. Hey, thanks so much for watching today, guys. I hope this helped you, and let me know if you make these file folder minis or if you've made them before. If you do, head over to Facebook, to our Facebook group called Maymay Made It, and so did I, and share your creations with us. There's also a contest going on over there right now, so jump over and be a part of that. Hey, I will talk to you guys on Friday. Have a great one. Bye-bye.